running on there. And Instagram will start right now. Excellent. We're rolling. And what happens if I just go straight to the chat room? What do you think? I think I should. Oh, my overhead lights bag is still on. It's got to be like, I need it. You know what I need? I need an automatic switch for that. That's what'll do it. I don't know why I didn't think of it till now. Welcome to Hal Sparks Megaworldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm Hal Sparks, and I will continue to Hal Sparks as long as Hal Sparks is needed. Hello. Welcome to the show. Glad you could be here. Lots to cover. A lot of, there's a little bit of like faux-aggressive backbiting that we'll deal with from this young Karen in the making. The Karening of Anna. It sounds like a Lifetime movie that keeps getting passed on. And then, of course, there's a lot of stuff. We'll talk about Biden's big effing deal. Oh, I got to change the name of the show, don't I? Because I didn't change it from this morning, and people are going to get confused. I will fix that. And then, of course, all right, borders are nonsense. And then TikTok. I think we need to start with this one. So hold on. Let me do this. And then I'm going to update the title and go and take this out so people don't get confused more than they normally would, I guess. How can I talk about, like, it's so hard to talk about some of the things that are going on, even like, goodbye, TikTok. Hello, TikTok. And I'll explain that in just a minute. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hit that like, share the show, etc., etc., etc. If you see the clips we've got posted up there, if you want to really help the show, you can share those out, and you can also comment on them. That also bumps us up in the algorithm, or the algorithm, as I like to call it. And this is yes, I agree. Let them stew in their confusion, Bonnie. Or wait, who said that? Rachel said that. Let them stew in their confusion. Now. Chat room, reload your page and then the title will come up. But we'll get to that in just 1 second. Well, let's just do it right away. So, because why tap dance around it? So, the deadline for TikTok, for ByteDance to either sell TikTok or shut it down is right around the corner. Is I want to say the 18th or something of January. Now, Trump has stepped in to try and stop it. And this is Fox Business dealing seemingly with the reality of selling it, or, you know, it being sold or not sold, it being evil or good or a force for either, or what. We'll see. Because, again, don't pre-watch. But it says, the description says, billionaire entrepreneur, which that's a lot of French in a row. Billionaire entrepreneur. Entrepreneur Frank McCourt on what it will take for him to buy TikTok as bids for the popular app ramp up. And I think I think the host of this is turd under the nose lady, the lady who always looks like someone's holding a small cat turd under her nose. That lady? I think so. Let's see. The Big Money Show. You guys are fucking adorable. Hey, working class MAGA folks, do you feel seen? Jesus Christ. I'm just saying you shouldn't probably have your Fox Business show have a title that looks like a lotto program on local news. Whatever. And welcome, Trucker John Convoy. Thanks for raiding us. All right, here we go.
Welcome back. The clock is ticking on TikTok. The social media giant has until...
I see what you did there, lady. So it's not turd under the nose lady. It's no thank you. I don't let anyone buy me a drink except my ex-husband.
January 19th to sell its American business or face a nationwide ban. President-elect Donald Trump is urging the Supreme Court to pause the ban and allow...
Right, which seems weird. By the way, I've been yelling about TikTok for a good long while now. It's it's basically an act of I guess a combination of social destabilization, computer code, and an algorithm that just I guess seeks to get kids to drink bleach. I can see why Trump would be for that. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to purge the maggots faster than more like Tide Pod challenges on TikTok.
Some time for a, quote, negotiated solution. One potential solution, enter Frank McCourt, a billionaire entrepreneur who's launched a bid to buy TikTok.
Who just did, as every billionaire entrepreneur should do, did a huge rail of blow right before coming on the air. So he had to...
From Byte.
I'm kidding. I don't know that that's the case. I've never seen this person before.
Dance. He joins us now. It's great to have you on the program, Frank. Thank you so much for being here. So what's it going to take for you to buy TikTok? And
$85 billion, $30 billion, $12 billion, $8 billion, $2 billion. I mean, if you're not buying the algorithm with it because it's Chinese malware, then you're basically what? Just buying the servers and the name? Maybe some of the office staff?
And the only other person I know...
Not that you buy office staff, you know what I mean. You're going to have to keep paying their salaries. Stop it.
Who's interested so far comes on this show a lot, Kevin O'Leary. How are you working this?
Well, unlike Kevin O'Leary, I actually have money, future Karen.
Yeah, well, we've put all of our ducks in a line. We're ready to buy the U.S. app, the U.S. portion of TikTok, assuming that ByteDance sells it. And we're going to know the answer to that very, very quickly because the Supreme Court is hearing their case. It's their Hail Mary pass, which is not going to work, in my opinion. That hearing is...
Really? You don't think Trump can settle this and work it all out and But he's art of the deal. He is the artist of deal. He is the Da Vinci of deals. Even though he didn't write that book and he's never even read it.
It's on the 10th. And conventional wisdom is that the Supreme Court will rule against ByteDance, supporting our government and our people, because TikTok is a real national security threat. And then ByteDance is left with the option of shutting it down or selling it. And, we're standing by, ready to buy the U.S.
I'm going with they're going to sell it because they need the money.
TikTok without the algorithm, by the way, which China has said they'll never part with.
Can you talk to us?
You know why? Wait. You know why they won't sell the algorithm? Because it's not just a commercial piece of computer code. It's not just the secret sauce or extra flavoring or what have you in Kentucky Fried Chicken or Coca-Cola. The reason they won't part with it is because it is military software. It was designed by the military, by their psychological ops group. That's what it was. That's who made it. That's who controls it. And if you got the code for it, you could kind of work your way back to who designed it. That's why.
About that, because you've said that you're not interested in the algorithm. Kevin O'Leary, someone again that Jackie mentioned that we talked to, he likes the app, frankly, for the algorithm. What is it about the app that you like? X algorithm.
Yeah, well, Kevin and I have had a number of conversations about this, and I really think that Kevin is starting to see the value in buying TikTok without the algorithm. There will be an algorithm. It just won't be the Chinese algorithm. And
yeah, that's kind of the key. That's where Kevin O'Leary is kind of too stupid for the rooms he's in.
It will, the user base will own and control their data and their relationships. So you'll still have the benefit of big data. You'll have the benefit of algorithms, but it won't be a Chinese algorithm, and it won't be one that takes advantage of American citizens.
Why is that? Oh, because we have laws in this country about what you can do and how the terms of service have to be actually told to people and how you have to live up to them. And you can't just go, well, once it's inside our country boundaries, fuck you. So there's that.
Look, we've seen China hacks now, right? In October, it was the presidential campaigns. November, the telecoms. Last month, we learned about the Treasury Department. We need to protect American people. And TikTok, as it's currently designed, is a national security threat.
Yep.
And so let's move TikTok over to a clean American stack, protect Americans, and keep the platform going so that everybody that's enjoying TikTok can continue to do so.
Well, I will say there's one thing that will stop if they move it, not just the artificial boosting of the most psychotic trends to the top so that every little kid in this country who's on TikTok gets to be, convinced that they can fly, but as long as they jump off a high enough building or eat Tide Pods or that, nothing cleans your teeth like lye, those kind of things. That algorithm that artificially boosts those things to the top will go away. But besides that, also, a lot of the people who make money that are like highly known to make money on TikTok will not be making that kind of money anymore because it's not organic. The method that they're getting paid through as far as advertising and stuff is not organic. The Chinese government backfills that money so that anybody who's making big dollars on TikTok is actually being kind of lured into the false sense of accomplishment because they pay you to keep building stuff up, and they artificially raise accounts that they want to be stronger and downplay others. So they use the illusion of advertising dollars to drive self-importance among some of the posters and also to retain some of the right people.
You mentioned enjoying TikTok, and that's an interesting conversation, too. There's the security threat of where does your data go, but then there's also, like, the American TikTok gets kids fixated on making NyQuil chicken or something. In China, it doesn't do that, right? So like, I'm a parent. Some would argue this app is actually destructive in a lot of ways, even apart from where the data goes. Do you envision a new kind of TikTok, maybe one that isn't,
oh dear,
so, I don't know, trivial or addictive or something else? What's your vision?
Well, yeah, that's it'll be more in line with what other sites are like. It'll compete on an even playing field, largely with like Snapchat, except your stuff stays up. That'll be the essential difference.
Yeah, totally different. And you're right. I mean, TikTok is banned in China. I mean, think about that. The U.S. TikTok is not allowed in China because it is addictive. It is manipulative. And it's not just that China has information.
Susie says it's war without bullets. It's exactly right. That's exactly what it is.
On 170 million Americans. I mean, that's bad enough. But they're able to manipulate 170 million Americans, many of them young people, as you point out. This is a highly addictive platform. Let's move U.S. TikTok onto a new, clean, made in America stack. Give people now.
I think he means a stack of software.
Ownership of their data and their relationships, and let them permission its use and and benefit financially. By the way, we now know personal data is enormously valuable. So let's give people some of that value.
Frank, everything that you're saying sounds totally reasonable. I think it would be to most people.
Yeah. So we're going to have to cut this interview short because this is Fox Business. We won't make this mistake again. Goodbye, Mr. McCourt.
Who have been against having TikTok in this country, but do understand the magnitude of its power. At the same time, you've got the president-elect urging the Supreme Court not to ban it, not to hear.
Yeah, why would you do that for the Chinese government? Why would if Joe Biden is the one that is being paid by our enemies, especially the red Chinese, according to Rudy Giuliani, why would he be the one that passes the CHIPS Act and fucks the Chinese economy into a cocked hat and sends them back 2 decades? But Donald Trump could have passed a similar CHIPS Act and just didn't bother. Also didn't pass an infrastructure bill that would not just support infrastructure in the country, but also build broadband in the country. So people out in the rural areas would be more reliant on like the system set up through 5G that have, that we're now knowing have all this like Chinese circuitry in them and all this possible malware buried into it. Why would he leave them susceptible to that? If they hadn't, I don't know, I'm just spitballing, made him promises financially in the future after the fact or something along those lines. Why would he do that? And then why would he try to save TikTok and maintain it as a Chinese entity when he could just support the sale of it in the United States? Why would he want China to still retain it? We'll figure that out at some point. I can't imagine where it might be money, that there could be a reason money that he would do this money. We'll look into it. But if I look it up money, it's probably because of something, trivial like money.
The oral arguments that you mentioned on the 10th.
Watch it.
How does that factor in to your timeline? And have you been talking to the Trump administration at all? Because it sounds like the actual ban from the court is what you need for ByteDance to sell to you.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, that's how it has to happen.
Well, it's actually, we agree with President-elect Trump that the app should not be banned. It should be divested.
Yeah, that's not what he's talking about. He doesn't believe that. Because if he believed it should be divested, then he would be for the sale of it.
And that's where we come in. We have a solution for President-elect Trump so that we can keep the app going, but without the national security threat and without.
Yeah, that's where the problem comes in, though, because that's not the priority. That's not his priority at all.
The manipulation of American citizens and without the surveillance on American citizens. TikTok currently is spyware disguised as a business.
Yes, get it off your phone.
We need to stop the spying on American citizens. And we need to move the user base over to a clean, made in America.
Now, by the way, what he's talking about here is one of the reasons why they might not sell it even if they need the money. Because they will find out if they get the access to the offices and the like, and they haven't completely broomed out all the software linkages between Baidu and ByteDance and TikTok in the United States and their equivalent software over there, that they'll be able, this guy and his team walk into that office after they bought the place, and they will be able to see that while it may say, because they did a couple of fixes a year ago, while it may say that you get to keep your data, or it's secure, or it doesn't turn on your mic or your camera without you knowing it and disable the light or any of those things that tells you your camera is on or keeps you from knowing it. It may, and by the way, it won't work on iPhones, for example, because they're really, the security measures on it are really tight. But on a cheaper Android, forget about it. It'll just, and never mind Huawei phones. So these things will just, they're just listening devices. All you have to do is set it there. As a matter of fact, if you wanted to spy on somebody, you could just bring a Huawei phone into some place and drop it, and they could proximity find it and listen to the mic on it. It's bad. So the reason they might not want to sell it, and they might just say fuck it and shut it down entirely, is because you could find out. Yeah.
Stack, no China backdoors. So I agree with President-elect Trump, and yes, we are going to be having conversations with him, and we already started the outreach to his people.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's why you don't know that he likes the algorithm right where it is.
And Frank McCourt, I would just say, when you're ready to make the announcement, we're happy to have you make it here on the show.
Thanks very much. Good to see you all. Happy New Year.
Okay.
Likewise.
It's so weird when they have kind of like a sensible rich person. I mean, I don't know anything else about him, but he actually speaks well, sounds like he knows what he's talking about. You can see the distinction. You can see why a lot of actual billionaires can't stand Trump and think he's fucking stupid. In private conversation, all they talk about is how dumb the guy is, because you listen to how these guys talk when they're serious. Mark Cuban's one of them, Jeff Bezos, whatever. Say what you will about their morals and their ethics, but their acumen and their capability of understanding the technology and the issues that they're dealing with is clearly multi-levels ahead of even Musk, much less Trump. So anyways, I hope somebody buys it so we can, then I'll start posting on TikTok. That you can enjoy that. I'll do little thingies on there or something. Now there is also, where is this? I have one more clip along the lines of, is it this one? Moscow, the national security. Oh yeah. So check this out. This has to go, by the way, hi, chat room, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/HalSparks, great way to support the show. Also, super chats, and I don't have my Venmo picture up because I got to find a better way to put it in the scenery. I'm building a new set. Work on it with me. I'm fine. Just leave me alone. I'm trying my best. I cannot buy TikTok, but you could start it with, I could probably code a new TikTok using ChatGPT. It would just be a matter of like, how much would it cost to house all the information on like Amazon Web Service or something like that? Whew. All right, so you guys know this dumbass, right? Lieutenant Colonel James Carafano, retired, discusses the Russian foreign minister rejecting a peace deal and Elon Musk's business dealings with China. Wow. So what, are they just playing catch up now? Or is this, they're just trying to like end up in my I told you so file?
Now this, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has rejected a reported peace deal involving
what?
Ukraine and NATO, with that deal being made by Trump advisors, we are told.
Huh. Is my watch busted? Has it been 24 hours since the election already? My goodness. Just rejected, you say? Outright. Fascinating. I hope this thing it's better be under warranty.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel James Carafano joins me now. And Colonel, I don't know the details. I know, not many people do, but it's not an encouraging
I'm going to guess there aren't many
sign, is it?
Well, look, when the Russians say no to something, the next deal you offer them has to be a lot worse. You have to deal with the Russians from a position of strength. And I got to tell you, the Russians are bluffing. There are huge cracks in Russian power. They are taking enormous casualties on the battlefield, and they're
Fuck you. Like, how many times we watch these assholes on Fox Business going, well, Ukraine's screwed because Russia can do this forever. They're doing fantastic. Like, this is just a feudal. It's throwing good money after bad. I don't know what the hell's going on in Ukraine. Nobody even keeps track of blah, blah, blah. All over Fox News with Maria Bartiromo and all these assholes. And now he's like, man, the Russians are kind of fucked. This Biden dude better get his testicles off of Putin's forehead before people notice.
economy is not doing well. And they're never going to conquer Ukraine, and they know they're never going to conquer Ukraine. So this tough act from Lavrov, who, by the way, is just a drunken sock puppet anyway, is...
Okay, now that the election's over, he's just a drunken sock puppet? Motherfucker.
just a joke.
And he is, by the way. This is true. But look how long it took him to talk like this. Now that Trump is in, and and Fox is supportive of it, that he's going to take over, and it'll be run his way. Then they can speak frankly about stuff. I guess half the time they'll be going, well, obviously Trump will handle this. He'll handle it. It's just his people. As soon as he gets in the room, didn't he say one fucking phone call? Wasn't that the standard? Within 24 hours, one fucking phone call, and he knows exactly what he was going to say to both of them. Remember that? Huh. What was all that? What the fuck stuff? Or was that all bullshit? That was all bullshit, Joel.
Okay, we do know that Russia and Ukraine, by the way, swapped 300 prisoners, but Russia continues to try and sabotage Ukraine's critical power lines. So, I mean, they're continuing to grind this thing out. But to your point, I mean, are we at a stalemate, or is Russia starting to make gains?
I think both sides are at strategic exhaustion. Neither one's going to collapse.
Yeah.
But neither one has the resources to really drive a decisive outcome in this conflict. That's the reality for both sides.
That they're willing to use or able to use. There are certain missiles that Ukraine could absolutely fire into Russia and do stuff, but that would ratchet stuff up. The Russians obviously have nukes and tactical nukes they could use, but nobody's going to cross that line. That's what he means. Within this shell, the cake cloche that's over top of this.
That's why President Trump's plan is to say, look, there needs to be a ceasefire here because this is a no-win situation and innocent people are dying. And you both need to stop because...
Yeah. Also, a lot of not so innocent people are dying. Like all of the Russian soldiers and all of the North Korean soldiers.
both your countries
Get the fuck out.
could collapse. Russia could collapse from within. Ukraine's just going to get bled, but we're going to keep supporting it. Ukraine will never die, but it'll wind up on life support forever. So there are no winners in this conflict.
No. No. If Russia's the one on collapse and we're supporting them, they will be able to establish a line, even if it's that territory, and just hold it, and the world will move on to supporting Ukraine. It's got enough money and enough resources, as long as Russia isn't bombing into the fucking country, which is, again, it's going to have to... Oh, shit. Hold on one second. I have to, let me just show you something in relation to how things are going over there. Let's see. Since tariffs are in the news, where's the nearest? Let me take the most recent one. There you go. Hey, you know how we're talking about how, after the election, everybody was like, hey, what's a tariff? And we're like, and then, especially after they all voted for Trump because tariffs are going to solve everything. Apparently, I don't know what the Russian word for tariff is, but it's the most beautiful word to Vladimir Putin as well. He just doesn't have it very many people to use it on because we're not trading with him anymore. So we can only use it on a few people, namely China. First salvo of a Russia-China trade war. Moscow imposes hefty tariff on Chinese furniture parts, raising hackles in Chinese media and begging questions about health of bilateral ties. Oh, you hate to see it. It's probably something small, right? It's probably like 10%, 12%. 13.65%, probably 14, 15%, 20% tops. Russia's imposed 55.65% tariff on Chinese-made furniture parts, a trade war salvo that has raised hard new questions about Moscow and Beijing's, quote, no-limits partnership with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration on the horizon. 55%. And that's, as in the immortal words of Jackie Tan, and that's just for starters. So.
And it needs to stop.
Do you think Russia ends up with some more territory of Ukraine's?
Well, the number one rule for a deal is never give Russians anything at the negotiating table that they didn't win on the battlefield. So if you give them one concession, 1 inch of ground, one good thing out of this that they didn't fight and earn, then you made a bad deal. And there's one thing we know about Trump.
Yes, he sucks at this.
Trump likes to make deals.
No. He likes to say he made deals.
He doesn't like to make bad deals.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he regrets his casino and all of his properties. You do realize he's paying like $100,000 per month more in interest on his loan for the Chicago Trump Tower than all of the other investors, because he thought he was going to get to, as president, to elbow Jerome Powell into lowering the interest rates into negative territory, and he was going to like refinance when interest rates were literally underwater. So like the government would pay him to borrow money. This was his idea, and that didn't happen. He fucked it up, and everybody else renegotiated at 2%, and he's paying like 5 to 7% on his loan there, and that's not going to change. Powell's not going to lower this shit just to help him. He sucks at this.
No, he doesn't. I got to get to this issue very quickly. Retired Lieutenant General Russell Honore warning that Elon Musk's influence in government poses national security risks. In a recent op-ed, the retired general says that Musk's business dealings with China actually poses a threat. I mean, what do you say to that, General?
Russ is an old friend and a great guy, but just because you're retired and a general doesn't mean you have good advice. The reality is lots of people are doing deals with China.
Yeah, but do they have their biggest factory over there?
Corrupt. That's the question.
Yes, he is.
Joe Biden was doing deals with China. He was corrupt.
No, he wasn't. What deal? He dealt their economy a mortal blow, I suppose.
Two things that make me optimistic. One is all of Trump's dealings with Trump have been enormously transparent.
Yes, Trump makes great deals with Trump.
Which I think is very healthy. That when they agree and disagree on things, they say it in public so we know what they're talking about. The other thing is, in the end, the American people got Donald Trump elected president. He borrowed millions of voters to win that. If he's going to keep them, he has to deliver for the American people, not Elon Musk. So I don't think the Musk-Trump relationship or Musk role in government is going to be a problem at all.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. It already is a problem, and Trump's not even sworn in yet. Of course it's going to be a problem.
Ever.
You're adorable.
We'll leave it right there, Lieutenant.
Yes, let it smoke. Let it float in the punch bowl like the turd that it is. Good Lord. It's going to be fine. They're so good together. Can we also, he's got cash patel eyes. Yeah, he looks like he could be his uncle or something. There was I got to find it on my YouTube because I wanted to show you something. This is like a good example of the kind of stuff. Let's go to here. Where's the, what do I do? Why won't this page load, you silly page? There it is. There you go. Playlists, and I believe it's in here to watch later. Oh, it was I will find it. So one of the things that everybody talks about China is able to do is they are able to shut up. So yeah, here it is. This is amazing.
Hi, entrepreneur.
Hold on. And I'll reload this page. Does it reload the page or does it start back at the top? Yeah, okay. So one of the things you can tell when a business is going out of business is that whatever they were selling, they start selling the stuff that made the stuff they're selling. They start, you have a bar that brews its own beer. They sell all their beer. They sell the bottles and the furniture. And then they sell the still, the brewery itself, the equipment, right? That's how you can tell shit has truly hit the fan, right? When a comedy club closes and they're selling the microphone, you know you're in deep shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when they're selling the actual equipment and advertising that, and that's the biggest thing going out of the country. I'll show you. This is what started showing up in my feed on one of the channels that I have, or one of the accounts that I have where I look at shit that I don't want to be bothered by the rest of the time, as far as like foreign accounts and looking at foreign YouTube channels and stuff like that, because I don't need that overlap. It's annoying unless I need to watch it for the show or something. Buy machines in China, make your own company. Wow. Prepare to be grossed out. This is a sales video that is basically going to link you straight to like an Alibaba or like Ali Direct, or I think there's one called Oriental Trading as well. And it sends you there to buy these machines, where in these factories, they used to make this stuff, and now they're selling the stuff that makes the stuff. This is how bad business is right now. And they're all over the place. Like, there's a new video for this shit, like, every week. And wait till you see the demos.
Hi, entrepreneur.
Hi.
Today I bring you a list of 17 incredible machines, all with an investment
and by I mean an AI voice
of less than $500 that you can easily import from China to start a profitable business from home.
Yes, like this lovely Delta plane.
These machines are perfect for targeting growing markets with unique, high-demand products.
Yes, t-shirts with things on them.
From food preparation.
This looks disgusting, but this is supposed to be granola bars or protein bars. Look at the brown goo. Never mind. I'll show you in a second.
Personalized products. These ideas will inspire you.
Delicious.
To
just lay me down under the end of that conveyor belt and let it all just fall into my mouth.
Business with minimal capital. Are you ready to start a business that fits in your home but has the potential to change your life?
It's going to change my life.
Fresh pasta has always been a symbol of quality and authentic flavor.
Yeah, but that's not like the kind of you do for a business. That's the kind you have for your house when you make your own. It's just a pasta slicer. I don't know that you're going to be able to start a business with that, you know.
With this machine, you can produce artisanal pasta in various formats: spaghetti, fettuccine, lasagna, and more.
Fettuccine.
By offering unique options like spinach pasta or squid ink pasta, you can...
Squid ink pasta? What?
Attract gourmet food lovers who value handmade...
Why is this pasta green? I suppose it's supposed to be spinach, but that's not the case.
Preservative-free products. This business has great potential because it combines artisanal craftsmanship with practicality.
And a much smaller machine.
Sell your pasta at local markets, specialized stores, or even to restaurants looking for unique ingredients.
Like squid ink?
$50 machine could launch you into the thriving world of fresh, handmade pasta.
Or it could make all of your friends sick when you try it out and go, hey, I made it food for us out of my new pasta machine. What's that smell? That's homemade pasta. It is so easy, isn't it?
The fruit pulp.
It's the Fuzzy Pumper Barbershop. Now this is where it gets rough. The fruit pulp extractor machine.
Pulp extractor is essential for entrepreneurs aiming to enter the healthy food sector.
Yes, absolutely. You're about to see the very definition of healthy.
It allows you to extract pulp from fruits like mango, soursop, strawberry, and passion fruit.
Yeah, and then you can use that pulp to fill this nasty fucking cart.
Quickly and easily.
It is easy.
With the extracted pulp, you can create juices, jams, natural ice creams, or ready-to-sell smoothies.
You know what?
Whether you sell your product...
It looks like somebody already ate it.
At fairs, coffee shops, or through home delivery.
Yeah, just carry this basin to your local coffee shop with a little for sale sticker on the side.
This machine is your key to entering a booming market.
It is.
As consumers increasingly demand fresh, natural options.
Yes, fresh, natural options as pre-consumed fruit.
Machine offers a gateway to building a recognized brand in the healthy food industry.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I know you. You're the guy that sells, I think, shit.
Innovative machine allows you to create waffles on sticks, making
Yeah, finally. For the ever-burgeoning waffle on stick market.
them ideal for selling at fairs, coffee shops, or events.
By the way, I have had these in China. They're adorable. But I don't know why this is a big deal. Except you waffle the thing, and then there's a little thing where the stick goes in. And you put the stick in, and then it cooks it on the stick, and you eat it off the stick.
Portable treats can be customized with toppings like chocolate, whipped cream, fruit, or sprinkles.
Or maybe fruit pulp.
Making them visually attractive and hard to resist. Waffles on sticks
Like TikTok videos.
are particularly appealing to children, teens, and families, and they stand out for their low ingredient costs and high profit margins.
Yes, especially if you're using highlighter ink.
This machine is perfect for creating a simple yet lucrative street food business with plenty of opportunities for personalization.
Yes, and also to possibly make people sick. Now, this next one I know you guys are going to jump at.
If you love baking, this machine
If you love baking, this takes all of the baking out of baking.
will help you create uniform, high-quality cookies.
That's right. The one thing that bakers hate, making uniform, high-quality cookies themselves.
It's perfect for producing cookies for weddings, birthdays, or corporate events.
Yes, or for creating alien pods that break open and suck your face.
You can even offer seasonal options for holidays like Christmas.
Thanks for showing that part.
Valentine's
You know what? It didn't look appetizing until you showed us the
With attractive packaging and a focus on freshness, your cookies can quickly gain traction on platforms like Instagram or local shops.
Yes, nothing says Instagram like a reel of this machine working, cranking out your artisanal cookies.
A cookie business not only lets you express your creativity, but also taps into
Your uniform creativity.
the ever-growing market for personalized and artisan desserts.
Yes, you have to learn to speak Chinese or you won't know how to run the menu, though, unfortunately. Sorry.
Vacuum sealing is essential for preserving food hygienically and
It is. It's great. And you can't find a thing that allows you to do that in normal stores everywhere at all times at Costco.
extending its freshness.
This is I swear to God, this is in somebody's Pornhub searches.
This machine is ideal for packaging dehydrated foods, marinated meats, snacks,
And half a donut. Wait, is that a curved Twinkie? Is that a Twinkie with Peronis? Sorry.
or even coffee. Not only does it maintain the
Thank God I saved half of this donut for posterity.
quality of your product, but it also enhances its presentation, helping
Yeah,
you
it does.
stand out from the competition.
Totally.
As a versatile tool, this machine is perfect for food entrepreneurs looking to create professional, well-packaged products
Yeah, looks great. I'm sold. Ugh!
that appeal to health-conscious customers.
Why would you show the raw and the cooked just laying there stanky?
Customization is a growing trend. and
Okay, this
machine
this laser cutter is cool, but you can get a laser
allows you
cutter
to
anyway.
create unique products such as signs, keychains, decorative pieces, or accessories. It works with materials like wood, acrylic, and leather, enabling
And will blind you if you stare at it.
you to serve various markets.
Mostly the wood carving market. For, uniform wood carving.
Offering exclusive designs
Takes the originality out of everything.
on platforms like Etsy or Amazon Handmade,
Right. If it's a great way to start I didn't really make this on Etsy, but you think I did.
can turn this machine into a consistent source of income. For creative entrepreneurs, this is a powerful tool for standing out with custom, made-to-order products.
Fabulous. You can cut sushi with it.
A food dehydrator lets you create healthy snacks like dried fruits, vegetables, or jerky.
Yes. That is true. Wait till you see the dried fruits. They're perfect for selling at health food stores and also gyms and places where people want health things.
As the demand for natural, preservative-free foods continues to grow, consumers are seeking nutritious alternatives.
They are.
You can sell your products at gyms, natural
Yes, because who doesn't like when you're on the treadmill sucking on a slice of blood orange with the rind still on it?
food stores, or online. By experimenting with unique flavors, you can stand out in the market and attract loyal customers who value high-quality, healthy snacks.
Yes, this is what I choose as a healthy snack. What? Up yours, fruit roll up. This. Hey, asshole, I don't know how to break it to you. This ain't food. You're making potpourri. This is the kind of stuff you find in a bowl at a rich person's house because they think it makes the room smell better.
Frozen yogurt is a delicious and healthy treat that appeals to all ages.
So true.
This machine allows you to offer customizable frozen yogurt with toppings like fruits, nuts, or syrups.
I don't think it puts the fruits, nuts, or syrups on there, so I guess you would have to. That's battery's not included, I suppose.
It's perfect for fairs, events, or even setting up a small booth in high traffic areas.
Yeah, right. Like the middle of the 405. Or airport, in the airport right next to luggage or a baggage claim.
Especially during warm seasons,
Yeah, you're probably not going to sell a lot of it in the middle of the street in winter.
frozen yogurt is both refreshing and profitable, making this machine a great investment for aspiring food entrepreneurs.
All right, you get where I'm going with this. There was one more on here I think I have to show you that's just god-awful. Textile, it's an iron thing. Oh, this is the empanada maker. Can I just say that it's no surprise this is how an empanada maker works. But, well,
Are a beloved snack around the world,
They
and this
are.
machine helps you produce them quickly and
it does.
efficiently.
Look at that. And they
Whether
just
filled
fall
with cheese, meat,
Yeah.
or vegetables,
or just falling onto the ground.
empanadas appeal to a wide range of customers.
They do. They do, absolutely. Especially if those customers are laying on a dirty floor next to the rusted thing that holds this thing to the counter. Fuck me.
Ideal for catering, fast food businesses, or
Yeah, or rust efficient. Anybody who wants lockjaw.
delivery services. This machine is perfect for entrepreneurs looking to enter the food industry with a product that's
I guess it takes a little bit more to make them look like that.
always in demand. Granola bars are a healthy snack growing in popularity.
They are. These are, you guys seen granola bars before. That's a granola bar. Granola. That looks like granola to me. You can see the granola.
With this machine, you can create custom
That is not a square, a rectangle shit cutter. It is a granola machine, ladies and gentlemen.
customizable bars using ingredients like nuts, honey, or
I don't remember having any corn.
chocolate. It's an ideal business for selling to gyms, health food stores, or online platforms.
Yes. Hopefully you can move shop before people mail them back to you.
Customers are willing to pay a premium for high-quality, natural snacks, making this machine a smart investment for health-conscious entrepreneurs.
Yeah, it's so high tech too. You can pause the cutter if you need, if your finger's caught in it or whatever, you get your cheese cut.
The popsicle maker allows you to create frozen treats using fresh and natural ingredients, perfect
Yeah,
for
but the metal looks nasty.
selling at fairs, events, or even local cafes.
All right, fruit in popsicles, always a mistake, makes your teeth hurt.
From classic flavors like strawberry and mango to creative combinations like cucumber lime or yogurt fruit, the possibilities are
Yogurt fruit. I love the yogurt fruit. It's the best kind. You go to the Dannon forest, and I like the yogurt fruit at the bottom of the tree because they're fruitier. At the top of the tree, they just kind of a little tart for me.
endless. By offering visually appealing and unique flavors with eye-catching packaging,
Please tell me you changed that water.
you can capture the attention of both kids and adults.
And the health department.
Popsicles are an easy-to-eat snack and a refreshing choice, especially during hot weather.
That's right. Yeah. Again, don't sell this in high traffic areas in the dead of winter.
Making this machine
Polar vortex, not a good time.
a solid investment for those looking to launch a seasonal yet highly profitable business. A classic crowd favorite,
Oh,
Cotton
yeah.
candy never fails to attract attention at fairs, parties, and events. With this machine, you can produce cotton candy in various colors
Or not.
and flavors, making
Apparently just white and apparently just forever.
it a fun and nostalgic treat for children and adults alike.
Hey,
The
frog!
visual appeal of spinning cotton candy grabs instant attention.
That's what, yes, I would like some cotton candy, but can you make it look like a giant pig head with, I guess, shrimp crisps for ears?
Creating a steady flow of customers. It's an easy-to-operate machine with minimal costs, ensuring high profit margins.
Uh-huh.
Whether you're running a concession stand or offering this treat
Hi-ya!
as part of an event service, the cotton candy machine is a simple, low-risk way to make extra income.
Yes, you're gonna have to take the college course to make the pig head, though, because it doesn't, it just comes out looking like a big knotted pile of shit. And then there's a final one, hold on.
Producing oils like olive,
Oh, this is
coconut,
it. Ah, fuck me. So this is the one, this is the machine to make seed oils for cooking. Ah! This was the one where I was like, I have to show you guys this one.
Sesame with this oil press machine is a fantastic way to tap into the growing market for
Fantastic.
gourmet and healthy products.
That go into a, look at the floor of this place and wait till they show you the bucket.
Fresh homemade oils are highly valued by health-conscious consumers, and their premium pricing can lead to excellent profit margins.
How traditional Italian oil is made, olive oil is made. Yeah, they just use footage from other things that ain't this machine.
Business allows you to create oils for direct sale or supply them to specialty stores, farmers markets, or online platforms.
Source olive oil times. That's not this machine. This machine
With a
is a
simple
little
production process and a
Yeah.
significant demand for natural, high-quality oils, this
Don't show
machine
it.
is perfect for small-scale entrepreneurs
Don't
aiming
show
for
the bucket.
consistent returns. If
Don't
you're
show
looking to package
Okay.
juices, sauces,
Oh, this is
or
good.
jam,
In case you want to save your urine for if you're in Gattaca, or you have to do you have to do piss tests every so often, you can save your urine from the summer when you're not drinking as much, and then just take some of it with you in a pocket in case they give you a spot check. You can just poke a little, have a little, one of those Fox News catheters, and just pop that fucker in there and just squirt it out that way.
in professional, attractive containers,
Yeah, I would use a different color than yellow. I just would. Kind of.
the liquid packaging machine
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I understand it's liquid. I would just use a different color. I would use, I would use something blue, green, maybe something. Not blood or urine, just not red or yellow.
is an ideal solution.
It is ideal.
It ensures consistency, hygiene, and a polished appearance, which significantly enhances your product's market appeal.
That's right. When people find the packet of liquid inside the box, they'll go, I have made the right choice as a consumer.
Consumers are drawn to professionally packaged items.
They are. They are. Sometimes I'll crack open like a frozen dinner and go, but is there a packet of liquid in there that has been heat sealed?
And this machine allows you to compete
To make your own yellow snow anywhere. On the go. Yellow snow on the go.
effectively, even in saturated markets. Perfect for food entrepreneurs who want to target retail stores,
Yeah.
local shops,
Okay, hold on.
or people prioritize
This is coffee pods.
calls through online
This is make your own coffee pods. This is a coffee pod machine.
platform ships. Well, if you enjoyed this
And that's it. Okay, so and then they sell all this shit. Like that's how all these are. Like they all of these. There's tons of these fuckers. So to me, kids, that's my point. And I hope you enjoyed that, like aside into some of the shit that I am forced to watch for comedic purposes. It is clearly a situation where the Chinese are now selling the stuff that made the stuff. So, now let's jump over to something that will aggravate and disgust all of us. The winner of Future Karens of America's #1 with a Bullet Award, Anna Kasparian, who wants to talk about how even though Democrats picked up, I think, 3 seats for national office, that some of the locals lost. So, like flipped or whatever from a Democrat to a Republican in like fucking dog catcher, or like we had a couple of the really, really left wing like DAs lost their job, all that shit, right? that we're in deep shit, apparently, because we didn't listen to TYT.
Now that the election results are finally in California, a state that takes a notoriously long time to tally everything up.
Because they have a notoriously large number of human beings in the state.
Golden State Democrats are a little worried about a clear right-wing shift among voters who used...
Really? A right-wing shift? Really? They went right-wing, did they? They just decided, I can't, you know what? This brown woman bullshit is a step too far. I'm going with the orange dude, and I'm all in.
...to be dependable Democratic voters.
Yes, they used to be dependable Democratic voters, these people you're going to tell us about, I'm sure.
Now, it's not necessarily a right-wing shift. It's more that these are voters who are among voters who used to be worried about a clear right-wing shift.
A clear right-wing shift.
Among voters who
a clear right-wing shift. Gotcha, okay.
Used to be dependable Democratic voters. Now, it's not necessarily a right-wing shift.
Okay. Is it a cloudy right-wing shift instead of clear, or?
It's more that these are voters who aren't showing up to cast their ballots for Democrats anymore.
Anymore, or this time around because brown lady?
And they also made some surprising congressional gains.
Right, yes. Yeah, we gained House seats nationally in California.
Despite what we've noticed with some of these typical Democratic voters staying at home. So
even with the typical Democratic voters staying at home, Democrats picked up 3 seats in California. Clearly a right-wing shift.
Let's get into the details.
Please, because...
First, important to know that Trump flipped 10 counties red, and the state GOP picked off 3 legislative seats, despite being vast.
Yeah, state legislative seats that were oddly Democratic before.
Outspent. Okay, so
yeah, and the counties, what? There was a huge difference. We're obviously not talking about Los Angeles County.
That's some of
Marin.
The evidence that there's been a little bit of change in California.
No. Excuse me. A point of order, Mr. Chairman. I was promised a clear shift to the right. What kind of namby-pamby bullshit?
Some of the evidence that there's been
obviously
a little bit of change in California, which is
a little bit of change in California. Oh, you mean the state that's had multiple Republican governors, for example, and has not been just a Democratic stronghold like everybody says, locked in forever, and Reagan, Schwarzenegger, anybody?
It's a deep blue state. So the biggest shift.
It's a deep blue state. Even the Republicans that run things have to be like purple to blue leaning.
Shift to the right is seen among Latino voters in the
that might be something to do with the lady thing.
State, which is a huge blow to the Democrats, clearly.
Clearly, except they picked up 3 states nationally and didn't really affect the numbers overall. Let me guess. Adam Schiff squeaked by with what do you have? 18%? 18% lead against his Republican opponent?
Historically, Democrats had been able to solidify support among Latino voters in California thanks to backlash over a previous proposition. It was known as Proposition 187. And that was an initiative that was targeting immigrants in the country illegally. And that moved Latino voters decisively toward the Democratic Party.
And, well, yeah. That citation needed, but I would like to say that then clearly if that did move them and Trump's fucking I'm gonna sweep everybody out of the fucking country didn't, then it's either they're that misogynistic or they're the kind of people who want to pull the ladder up after themselves.
However, now polling suggests that the Prop 87 era is over.
Or 187 or 87, whatever works.
And Latino voters, unsurprisingly, are concerned about affordability in a state like California. High taxes, high housing prices, and they feel that the Democratic Party hasn't done enough to help them with this.
Right. So, and they feel this. They haven't. Your words. The Democratic Party hasn't done enough to help them. And that lack of enough, they've done some stuff clearly, or you wouldn't say enough. Anything would be the phrase, I guess. So clearly, they think a little bit more help is worth the lives and well-being of, say, 4 million other people who got here the same way they did. Fuck off.
So a post-election poll conducted by a Democratic pollster named David Binder found that affordability and high cost of living in the state were the preeminent concerns among California's Latino voters. More than 3/4 of respondents said that California state government policies made prices much higher or somewhat higher.
Well, then that's why it was the legislature that went red comparatively and not the national offices, and certainly not the presidential vote, I guess.
53% disapproved of how the government is addressing the economy, including jobs and the cost of living.
Cool. What would you say the alternative would be to what they're doing? So investment, clearly not a good idea. The rescue package was a mistake, obviously. Infrastructure, terrible way to use tax dollars. And so what are they supposed to do? Continue to trade in Xinjiang cotton so that the price of shit at Walmart is cheaper? Is that the goal?
And guys, I can't emphasize enough how much resentment starts to build in a...
We get an idea. Yes, we understand, Anna. You've built up a lot of resentment over the years.
State where taxes are very high.
Yes, that's what it is. High taxation. And thank God you guys have always said we need to cut taxes. I mean, if there's one consistent message from the Young Turks, it's been lower taxes. We got to cut taxes everywhere we can. People are going to get tired of this. I know we're using it to fund things like education and the environment and stuff like that. But how many times we're all, here we go again. Cenk and Anna talking about cutting taxes. What?
But you also experience your quality of life diminish year after year after year.
Do you? Do you?
And you also see that you have less and less buying power because of, there's inflation throughout the country,
but California.
But that inflation is even more pronounced in a state like California, especially when it's tied to housing prices.
What? First of all, the inflation aspect of housing has been a double whammy in two fronts. One is supply shock from COVID, shut down the availability of appliances and fucking nails and wood because there weren't workers to cut and process the trees and to make the nails and factories and the likes and all the stuff you need to do it. The workers themselves couldn't show up, so that narrowed how much could come online at a time when people had more money in their pocket, and so they were willing to buy places. So everybody upgraded. A lot of people moved during the fucking pandemic because they were like, I need about 10 grand in savings more than what I have to put down on a house. And right in COVID, they got either a PPP loan or they got unemployment or something like that, and they couldn't go anywhere. So they just socked it away and bought a house. And so all the houses around here got bought up like crazy during that period, including the one we're in. Our house, we started building it right before COVID. A lot of people did that. In Nevada and in California, it's the same way. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So look, there's an oddity here of the Democrats picking up 3 national seats.
Which is positive and helps with the balance of power in the House. It's not an oddity. She just explained to you that whoever these folks are, they think that the federal government problem with Democrats is not the same as the state government problem with Democrats.
In California, we'll get to that in a second, and I have a couple theories on that.
I have no doubt.
But overall, the Democrats got their clock cleaned in California. And
No, they didn't.
so when we talk about why, it's super important that we're honest with ourselves.
Absolutely. It's because dickheads like you did everything you could to diminish the vote, to drive down voter turnout.
Because if we're not, we'll just keep making the same mistake.
That's right. And I appreciate that this video is them announcing that they're going to shut down their network and stop doing shows because they realized after all this time they have been doing more harm than good.
And the biggest state in the country will go more and more Republican.
Again, we've been Republican before. We've had multiple Republican governors before. We've had and still gone Democratic largely in the presidential races. That happens. It's California. God damn.
I got if the Republicans capture California, it's over.
I'm sorry, was it over when Reagan was governor of California? Was it over fucking like Schwarzenegger? What was the other guy? Gray or whatever? Jesus, I don't even remember.
It's over nationally completely. And we're not close to that now.
No, we're not. Right. So why even say a stupid fucking sentence like that? Oh, because this is more about the dopamine and fear roller coaster ride you put your viewers on than actual information.
Okay. So Adam Schiff was, in my opinion, a terrible candidate.
And understand, Cenk knows what he's talking about because he ran for a House seat and got spent $1 million to get 5% of the vote. So if anybody knows who's a good candidate and who isn't, and by the way, if the candidate gets elected, you could argue that they were the better candidate. Whether they're the better officer or the representative would be the conversation. But obviously, on a candidate level in a campaign, the winner became the better candidate. I think we can agree on that. Yeah. That was the guy before him. I'll remember. I know Gray Davis was a Democrat, but there was another Republican. I'm blitzing on his name because I don't care. I think it was, yeah. Anyways, so this guy, and by the way, all Cenk did when he ran was guarantee that the Democrat that had the best chance of winning lost because he spent his entire time attacking her. Yes, it was a female. We cannot let these women get into positions of power, right, Chunk? That he ran effectively against her, not against who would be the Republican rival.
Ran against Steve Garvey, who had almost no money, and he still beat him by 19. But
19%. Sorry, it was a percentage point lower than I thought.
19 is closer than what normally happens,
Yes.
especially because Garvey had no money at all, right? And so you see this red wave coming through the counties.
No, you don't.
Affecting the state legislature.
No, the state legislature and the governorship shifts all the time in Republican, from Democrat to Republican. Just Democrats have had a longer run lately.
Et cetera. And so when you ask them why they're going in this direction, the economy is a big part of it.
Right.
Like, so, and to me,
Right. And what benefits do they see from Trump versus the losses that Biden has given them? Break down the policy is what I would like to see. What the fuck are you talking about?
most critical stat, I don't know if you were going to get to this, Anna, but Trump only picked up 75,000 votes in California in this election. But
So not so much a right shift.
Kamala Harris, the Democratic leader, lost 1.8 million votes from Joe Biden.
Yes, that's
Yeah, but 2020 was everybody had their fucking ballot delivered to their house. Everybody lost huge since Biden on the Democratic side because it was a special circumstance in 2020. Trump lost millions of votes from 2020 as well. Also, she's a woman. And also, you guys do nothing but attack her and Biden the entire fucking time. So, gee whiz, maybe, I don't know, maybe a mirror might help.
Okay.
true. Yep.
And so what that
It's true. Yeah, so true. So true.
shows you, it's not that the people woke up in California and were like, oh my God, I think Trump and the Republicans are so amazing and they're wonderful and we're now all Republicans. No. But they woke up and said, the Democrats haven't done something for me in so long.
Yeah, since the infrastructure bill and the CHIPS Act and the rescue package and I don't know, capping insulin at $35 and like the fucking ACA. It's been so long. And you know what? The Democrats haven't done something directly for me in so long. I would prefer the guy who won't do anything for me, and if anything, might get my relatives kicked out of the fucking country. I prefer that guy. I'm going to stay home.
That no, I'm not going to go vote for you because I have to, or it's my moral duty, or you're going to yell at me. No.
Also, if you need to be told something's your moral duty, then you have no sense of morals in that at all. Where's the moral argument where you have to tell someone that or force that upon themselves? It would be your moral duty, I guess, not to vote for Trump in that regard, if you wanted to hardline it.
You didn't deliver, so I'm not voting for you.
That's exactly.
Deliver what?
Exactly right. Yes. So Harris.
Yes. So she did. Yeah. As vice president, she so did not deliver the way Trump did with
about 1.8 million votes less than Joe Biden did in 2020 in the state of California. And so, look, a lot of this has to do with people who just didn't feel motivated to show up.
It's weird that you guys picture yourself as a motivating factor for your ideology and your belief systems, and they weren't motivated. Do you think maybe the demotivation scheme that you run might have been the fuck up?
Vote. Some people, like myself, did show up and vote, but I did not vote for either presidential candidate.
Then you didn't show up and vote. You didn't. If you left them blank or you voted third party in that regard, you absolutely didn't show up and make the moral choice. You left it to the fucking winds. Because, quite frankly, I think you wanted Trump to win. I think both of them did. That's what side of the bread their butter is on.
And so huge swaths of Latino voters specifically decided, I'm not going to vote for a presidential candidate here. And overall, there was a 9-point drop in voter turnout in the state.
From 2020, where everybody voted because we all had our votes postmated.
Now, a Republican consultant by the name of Mike Madrid says, I really want people to understand that the lack of voting, the lack of civic engagement is in and of itself a political statement.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's correlative, not causative. Everybody has too much shit on their plate to focus on the issues and vote anyways. You have to motivate people to do it. It's not a zero sum.
I totally agree with that. He continues. They finally left the bad relationship where this person is telling them over and over, I understand you. I get your needs. I hear what you're telling me, but then does not produce over and over and over again. Now they're finally saying, you know what? I'm out. And then
thank you, Anna and Chunk for pointing out how right a Republican pollster is about what we think as Democrats.
The final statement from Mike Madrid is, in many ways, that's worse for Democrats. And this is so true. They really do have
it's so true.
A hill to climb here, because they're not going to be able to get those voters back until they establish trust. So there's a really big burden on them, especially when the primary driver of affordability is housing. It's not like you can solve this by the midterms. And so this...
Well, hey, asshole, you can't solve it at all if you're out of power. So I think the argument would be is that Democrats were like, we've been working on this. We had a strategy. We had a plan, and we were going to work it. And then you let Trump get in, or you elected him specifically, and now you're even more fucked. Arguably, it's the Republicans that have to put up or shut up in this situation. Do you think Donald Trump, even with his real estate buddies, is going to raise the amount of houses in a significant sense throughout the country to drive the cost of housing down with no plan to do so?
His focuses on the uphill battle for Democrats in the state of California.
Because TYT is always shaking the crab bucket and slicing the Achilles tendon of Democrats every chance they get.
Leading into the 2026 midterm elections. And by the way, in 2026, California is electing a new governor. Thank God.
Fuck you.
So we'll see how that all plays out.
Thank God. And by the way, she wants a Republican governor for California for a tax cut. just listen to the general tenor of her entire argument.
But there are the ballot initiatives as well, because I think that's where it's become abundantly clear that voters in California have reconsidered their more left-wing positions on certain issues. So,
oh yeah, the ones you were pushing and attacking people like myself for a more moderating stance that attempted to deal with the seriousness of the issue without just fucking blindfolded hammering.
California voters actually approved 8 out of the 9 general election ballot measures endorsed by the state's Republican Party. The 9th, they just remained neutral on, and that was the one that would amend California's state constitution to protect gay marriage. Also,
Yeah. Here's a good thing. Don't tell us about the one they were neutral on. Tell us about the ones that they endorsed. Is it going to be like it was put the 10 Commandments in front of every school or any of that horse shit?
36, which imposes stricter penalties on some theft and drug crimes, easily passed with 70% of voters in favor of it.
Uh-huh.
And that reversed a decade-long trend in the state of California that embraced criminal justice reform and
you mean what you guys were talking about and shading on cops about and arguing that about the racism of city halls and courthouses all across the fucking state? I mean the things you were advocating for in the dumbest, most simpleton way you could possibly articulate? You mean those things? The stuff you guys sell, the voters went, this doesn't work. This is bullshit. You mean the stuff that I went, that won't work. That's bullshit. A long time ago?
Basically went against the more tough on crime policies.
Yeah. So when they asked.
Well, again, Kamala Harris wrote a book called Smart on Crime, which was about tough when necessary, but an awareness of where stuff came from. And understanding the destabilization that happens in communities when they're, all that. Yeah, TYT was all about defund the police and the like. Just fucking shitty.
Yes, folks.
I got this. This seems like just a setup. These assholes are just trying to downshift into the money lane.
Why you either went in Trump's direction, or Republican direction, or didn't vote. The two things that stood out by far the most were Democrats don't deliver.
Based on what? Like what? What were they supposed to deliver? Did they get everybody vaccinated? Yeah. Did they get a rescue plan passed? Yes. Did they get an infrastructure bill passed? Yes. Did they get rural broadband out to the parts of California that don't have it? Yes. Lead pipes out of the fucking water? First president to stand on a union picket line? Fuck you. This is just fucking lazy. That's what this is.
What have we been telling you on the show?
Right. Well, no, not telling people, lying about.
For 20 straight years. You got.
Yeah. When the ACA has gotten 24 million people insurance and kept kids on their insurance till they were 27, which absolutely saved lives. You guys were like, scuttle all of it. Fuck it. If we can't get Medicare for all, we don't get anything. If we don't get everything, nobody gets anything. That's the TYT moniker. And if we'd have followed them on this, there would have been none of the advances, including caps on insulin and the like, because they were against Biden from the fucking start.
Got to deliver. If you don't deliver, at some point you're going to lose these folks.
Or if people are listening to assholes like you and they're like, wow, he said that they don't deliver. Who am I supposed to believe? Them or my lying eyes?
And you can scream at them all you want. Oh, if you're a Latino, you must vote.
Yeah, nobody, come on. Is that why they were yelling at him? You're brown. You have to vote brown. This is voting brown. Or how about why, if you're a Latino, why wouldn't you vote for the Democrat in this situation versus Trump, who is literally going to have a racist purge policy as soon as he gets in office? And they're literally talking about hey, sorry, if parts of your family are illegal, you can either go with them or never see them again. Fuck you. That sounds pretty cut and dry.
Democrat. Well, Not anymore. They don't. No, they don't feel any obligation to.
Bullshit. Say we're back to like fucking California numbers before COVID. Stop trying to like sign your name on checks you didn't that aren't for you.
Number 2 reason was crime. And what did we tell you over the last 2 years?
You fuckwad.
Crime, right?
Yeah.
Well, since it happened to Anna.
And a lot of folks yelled at us and said, no, 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 no. Let's all pretend it doesn't exist. You can pretend all you like. The voters actually feel it or they don't feel it. And it's not about just right-wing.
Yes, it is. Because they didn't lose fucking... She didn't lose Los Angeles. They didn't lose San Francisco. That would be the places everybody keeps pointing to. Where were all the videos coming from? Fucking San Francisco. Who lost their job? Like, the DA there who was a moron. But it's not like she lost San Francisco. What are you, nuts?
Narratives or messaging, etc., because what was the equivalent of Prop 36 to increase penalties was tried 2 years ago and it didn't. I'm sorry, I think 4 years ago, and it didn't work because people didn't feel crime. Now they feel the crime and they're like, oh yeah. So look, 9 counties go to.
So which voters are we talking about? People that don't give a fuck about stuff until it affects them? They sound like Republicans anyways.
Trump, 8 out of 9 ballot measures goes to the Republicans, including the most important one, Prop 36, to increase penalties.
And again, why is that a Republican one? If Democrats went that way too, because they just thought they were too lax, that doesn't, again, this should be a relatively bipartisan issue. If there's an imbalance, correcting that balance doesn't necessarily, it's not tipping left to right, it's tipping towards a just and reasonable conclusion or not. Right? If it had been imbalanced, then Democrats and Republicans voted for it to, like, create that balance again. It doesn't make it left or right. Unless you can point to me something that in left-wing politics, we shouldn't have prisons at all. Like, I think the people who think we should have no prisons are the same as like sovereign citizens on the right. That everybody's a traveler as long as you're wearing fucking shoes or some dipshittery.
And I pointed out 7 out of 10, not close.
8 out of 9.
No, 7 out of 10 voters on Prop 36.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you're right.
And that's in a massively Democratic state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that just means that the way the law was being interpreted in mostly these, with the rise of these DAs, was reset. It didn't work. They experimented with looser rules and no cash bail and those kind of things, and it was a failed experiment. That was the view of the voters. It wasn't like, now that I'm a Democrat, I mean, now that I've seen a crime, I'm voting with the Republicans. It's not how it went at all.
So now when you go to the oddity of the Democrats who won the national seats, congressional seats.
Yeah, it's so odd in California that Democrats picked up 3 seats on the national races. It's so odd.
As the red wave was taking over California otherwise.
It wasn't a red wave. There was such an imbalance that it centered back around that stuff. You could argue that even the thing about higher penalties for certain kinds of theft, because organized crime was finding gaps in the law and exploiting it by getting like homeless people and drug addicts to run into places, fill up a basket of shit, and then they would give them drugs or money when they got out of there, and they were running this big scheme. That person, if they finally got arrested, they could, they could be charged with this giant RICO case, but they couldn't charge the people that they were using for these things who, were involved in this organized crime on the same thing, because they couldn't tie them to just that lower amount of stuff, even though there was multiple events. This was an imbalance created by, the road to hell being paved with good intentions, and it needed to be rectified. That's it. Yes, and crime is down materially, but COVID was, again, an outlier. And this fucking shit about money and how expensive things are and blah, bitty fucking blah. Again, that's largely supply shock from COVID and us no longer using slave labor in China for shit. It's going to drive the price up. Sorry, kids.
So my theories on that are, number one, none of the stories talked about it. But we always talk about it in the red states, and we never talk about it in the blue states, even though people acknowledge, the blue states do it too, which is gerrymandering. So I don't know how much of a factor that was, because...
Then don't bring it up, fuckwad. Don't imply it if you have no basis for it.
All of the articles are religiously avoiding it?
Yeah, I'm going to get into that actually, real quick, because
Okay.
I looked into it. But before I do, I have to give you this. I've never read a quote that resonated with me more than this one does. So I'm going to read
This is it. All right. I almost made a Mein Kampf joke.
it. Okay, so Jessica Milan Patterson, who's the chairperson for the state Republican Party, says that
Nothing has resonated more with Anna Kasparian than a quote from the chairperson of the state Republican Party.
The voters' approval of things like Prop 36 was a sign that voters were increasingly agreeing with her party on ideas, that the first step to bring them over to GOP candidates and eventually identifying as Republicans themselves. That's
Yeah, totally. I can see that just resonates so much. It's like a tuning fork for a moral future.
not the part that I completely agree or resonates with me. This one does.
Ah, okay, good. Phew. I thought that was a little kind of.
You don't get red-pilled overnight. It's the issue.
This is why. Yeah, all right. Because Anna's just saying, I got red pilled. It didn't happen all at once, you assholes.
Issues that affect your everyday life first, and then you connect them with people, and then you connect it with a party. That is so true, and that is what our.
Wait, hold on. Why would you connect it with the Republican Party then? How's that going to bring you to voting for a guy who was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 fucking decades and wants to use the army on American soil, declare an emergency, and have effectively martial law to broom out every brown person that doesn't have their ID on them and their family, even if they know they're American citizens or they never get to see their kin again? How do you jump to that? How do you go from, I think we might have gone too far in the cash bail thing, to, you know what? Fuck the gays. Women should be broodmares for the state. Where the fuck is that leap? Is it that simple, Anna? By the way, this is a shot of her getting ready to kiss Trump's asshole.
Trying to get across to people, when you're affected day to day by quality of life issues.
No, not even true. Not true at all. If you're affected by quality of life issues and someone, I don't know who, comes along and tells you, you know why this is a problem, they're the reason you're experiencing this. They are. It's the, you know what it is? It's the Democrats, because they just won't do anything about this. They got open borders. The border's not open. Yes, it is. I heard it on Fox News. And if you listen to them, if you have a problem with somebody and you're like, oh my God, I can't get a job, but there's these people standing out in front of Home Depot every time I go there, you know, and they all seem to get work and all this stuff, then, you know, clearly this open border is affecting me as a typist. The fuck out of here.
And all you hear from the Democratic Party is shut up. No, it's not happening. And if it's
that's not what anybody said.
Happening, it's not that big of a deal.
Nobody said it wasn't a big deal. Nobody said it wasn't happening. They were honestly speaking about it being a result of COVID, post-COVID, and society opening back up again, and opportunistic criminals taking advantage of some things. But nobody was like, nobody's robbing these stores. What are you talking about? Nobody's running in and grabbing shit. They were literally busting these gangs in San Francisco. But did you carry that part? Did you carry that story? I think you might have even once.
Man, that really does. Red pill people, it builds resentment toward the party. And I really think the Democrats need to pivot away from that, because they're going to keep losing if they think that that type of treatment of voters, that type of disrespect toward voters is going to get them anywhere.
So defending minorities and homeless people, when people go, all these homeless people are loitering around, they're criminals and drug addicts and murderers and rapists and that kind of stuff. And because my friend had an experience that defending, the vast majority of people who find themselves homeless, or the vast majority of people who are seeking asylum, let's say, who come here, by doing that, you're somehow denying the reality of people who actually are affected. When this whole shit about Trump going, the first people we're going to get out of the country are the criminals and the murderers and the rapists and the blah, blah, blah. We already do that, fuck me.
So, look, I do something that apparently not a lot of other people in politics or media do. I talk to normies.
You mean like Pierce Morgan?
People who don't follow politics and news religiously, right? And so
For example,
in California, whenever you talk to normies and you ask them about Biden, what's the first thing they would say? Too old. Every single person. Democrat, Republican, it didn't matter.
is that the first thing that came out of their mouth? Too old? And you go, and did you go, no, I don't mean that part. I mean, like, you know, we got an infrastructure bill passed. We hadn't had one for almost for 2.5 decades, and probably the biggest one in history. You know, and he was, because of his time in the Senate, he was able to help negotiate that and craft that bill because he was aware of all the parts in order. You think that was good or bad? You for that or you against it? No, they said too old, and you went, totally, fuck that guy.
Because they all have eyes. And so if you're not watching Morning Joe and having him brainwash you every morning about, no,
Morning Joe's gave Trump his run.
oh, he's young and dynamic, you're going to see Biden once, twice and go, oh, he's way too old. What's he doing running for office, right? But in the case of California, specifically in this topic that we're talking about, every single normie said crime's out of control. We're worried, we're scared, we're nervous. I had a friend that had this happen to. I had this that happened to that. So you see it in the stats, you see it in the anecdotes, you see it in every single normal person that you talk to. So when our side said no, they're all being, nervous Nellies for no reason. They're imagining it. What it did was
Okay, they didn't say that. That's a straw man. You're lying for them. I don't know. Maybe. Please bring up a fucking quote from somebody like, there is no crime. What they could say is crime is actually down, and it was up significantly after COVID because there was almost none, and it spiked because everybody stayed home, and it was harder to target people for opportunistic crime when no one's on the fucking street. God damn, these people are
doubled down on their anger towards Democrats. Because they said, number one, I'm angry at you because there's crime and you're not doing anything about it. And number two, when you gaslight me and tell me there is no crime, then I'm starting to get mad at you.
Okay, that's how you articulated it. The reality is a lot of them were like, they just didn't like the no cash bail talk. They didn't like defund the police. That became a pervasive talking point. Everybody, especially in minority neighborhoods, were like, this is fucking stupid. If you cut police funds, it isn't the rich neighborhood that's going to be short of cops. It's us. That's why they went against it. And there was like, and the slacktivist class, like this motherfucker, who'd been talking positively about the idea of, ACAB and fucking no cash bail and all these kind of things for years, suddenly had to walk their shit back because they were selling something that didn't work.
Right?
Yep.
And so that's when the red pill happened.
Right. No, not right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to block that, stop that from happening. And you've seen some of the fights that have happened on our side. But so let me get back to
what do you mean, between the two of you?
Why the Democrats is the national level one in California, because one is partly gerrymandering. Anna, you said you were going to get into that. I don't know if you've got more on that. Secondly, we had
moron being the operative word.
Way more money than the Republicans did in California. So we were not only able to spend more money on ads, but we got out the vote better. We did same-day registration. And some of these we barely won by like 800 votes and 160 votes, et cetera. And so we did a good job with that and had more money. But
we did? Suddenly it's we? Suddenly you're a fucking Democrat? What the fuck do you mean we?
Finally, the issues mattered.
Did we? Sorry. When we did same day registration, was TYT out same day registering people? Were they walking around? Were they, going to polling places like, ma'am, why are you weeping? I was going to vote, but I'm not registered. Well, I'm Chunk Uger, and I'm here to fix that.
Because none of them ran on democracy. Mm-hmm. None of them ran on what the Biden and Kamala Harris ran on.
Correct.
They all ran on three major things. One is get prices down, okay? Like kitchen table issues, economic issues.
Yeah, and again, every time Biden tried to lower, reverse people's student loans and that kind of stuff, you guys are like, never happened, and fuck him anyways, and they're probably doing it for the wrong reason, and blah, blah, blah.
Two, abortion. Abortion made a huge difference in California, and it made people reluctant to vote for Republicans on the national level.
It also drove down the 1.8 million that Kamala it lost because Latinos are, you know, in large part, in certain blocks, certain areas, I mean, I'm sure there's seas of them that aren't, are Catholic and pro-life.
Because we know abortion's not getting taken away in California, but we're worried it might get taken away nationally if you send the wrong people to Congress.
So we're going to, send the wrong people to the state legislature so they'll get a shot at it? What the fuck?
By the way, California voters, that's super rational. Way to go. You voted at the local level in the way that you want, but at the national level, you did the right thing by voting for Democrats so your abortion rights don't get taken away, in my opinion. And lastly, and this was super important, they all ran on pro-Prop 36.
Yeah, they did.
They all said, let's increase the penalties for crime, and they won. So they were able to...
Right. So it wasn't a shift red. It was a shift in policy by both. I got to tell you, these motherfuckers. So say we again, motherfucker. Say we. Because Anna was a Jacobin, and now she's a fucking maggot. Say we again.
Take that wave of Prop 36, and instead of trying to fight against it, it would have washed them out. They joined it so that they could actually win.
So they did it just to win. They didn't think it was good policy? So which part of that is we, motherfucker? Say we again.
They were not because they're bad guys, but because...
No, they didn't do it. They didn't vote for poor people stealing shit to not do more time because they're bad guys. They just knew they had to do what they had to do to win, which is why these assholes apparently love Bernie, because he would never do that, even though that's exactly what he did to become a senator, change his position on fucking guns. He does it, it's fine, but when Democrats do it, it's just, hey man, it's what you got to do so that they don't get red-pilled out to sea, you dumb motherfucker.
Because they were actually addressing what their voters wanted.
Exactly.
What the fuck? If it's what the voters wanted, it's not right or left. We have a representative government, a democracy, you dumb motherfucker. What in the ever-loving shit?
Exactly. That you're exactly right about.
Exactly. So right. You're so right. We're right. That's the way I look at it. We're right. We're so right. Say we again.
About that.
Thanks for watching The Young...
Oh, fuck you. I'm not watching that shit anymore. Good Lord. We. Fuck off. Damn. Just the laziest bunch of backtracking bullshit. It's just fucking aggravating. It's so fucking lame. Now, granted, I don't want you guys to think that only the allegedly formerly far left, like TYT, and I guess they weren't always far left. They were red-pilled and then they were blue-pilled and then red-pilled again because they started off with their, like, spot the camel toe sexist horse shit. And then went complete ACAB or some shit, and then now Anna's like, who are these all cops are bastards people? Oh, TYT will tell you they're left. Oh, they absolutely, well, they might not now. I guess, I bet not now. Also, by the way, that last clip, for everyone who might try to hit it with a copyright strike at TYT, was me dissecting a media viewpoint and pointing out how it is fraudulent, it is ineffective in the message that they intend to sell, or intentionally effective at selling a message that they purport to be against. It's think of it as exposing fraud. How about that? So, YouTube, if anybody hits me with a copyright strike about this shit, let me remind everybody that I have the right to break down that stuff, and I stopped it aplenty. I added a lot of content to that specifically. You don't get to use, like, copyright, especially in journalism, to stop people critiquing your shit. Yeah, fair use as fuck. All right, now let's see something. You want to see something? Yeah, you might be surprising. This is even dumber than what we just watched. Ladies and gentlemen, Benny Johnson has a special report. Here it is. Elon Musk confirms, does he? Terrorists, plural, terrorists, just attacked Trump Tower with massive bomb detonated in a Cybertruck. Even though that's Trump Tower in New York, and that thing is just on fire, and it's Elon Musk yelling, and these are all AI generated and overlaid like an asshole. But yeah, this is Benny Johnson. Benny is a dick. Okay, so Elon confirms it was a bomb. It wasn't a bomb. It was a pile of explosives that somebody tried to ignite, but it wasn't a bomb per se at all. So apparently not.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. I might not know much, but I know that this is not an accidental battery explosion inside of an electric vehicle.
Okay, it's an explosion inside an electric vehicle. The accidental part at that point was maybe known or not known. I would guess it was intentional as well. I don't know if that was the story that was being told at the time. I don't think so. I think initially the only people who thought that was the other footage that was shown from inside after it was already burning. That was when people thought it was just a Tesla on fire. That was what was making the rounds, not the explosion footage, because that didn't come out till later because nobody had their cameras running. So you had to wait for the security footage to come out. But Benny's a dickhead. How would he fucking know that?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen,
is a bomb. We've been saying all day.
No, it's an explosion. It's not a bomb. There's a difference. A bomb is a singular device. An explosion can be caused by a bomb, or it can be attached to a bomb, or it can be other incendiaries. It could be a blasting cap attached to, cans of explosives that would form a bomb technically, but are not a bomb.
That this is a bomb. When we saw that there was a massive explosion outside of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas, we said, there's probably more to this than meets the eye.
Yes, like Transformers.
Ladies and gentlemen, now this,
ladies and gentlemen,
is a actual detonation of a bomb in.
Well, there's a pile of explosives in the bed of the truck.
Side of the trunk.
Trunk?
The bed of this truck.
The bed of the trunk of the caboose. What do they call it in England? The boot. It's in the boot.
There's a Cybertruck, ladies and gentlemen. We've been saying this.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Did he say ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen.
All day, and now it has been confirmed true. Once again, this is what the explosion looked like.
Yeah, what was confirmed true at that point was that it was an intentional explosion, not a bomb dummy. And it kind of matters.
Incredible. It's not from a Hollywood movie. This is something that actually rocked the Las Vegas hotel, iconic Las Vegas Golden Tower Hotel. Trump.
Back up. Could you say those fucking words in the right order? That rocked the iconic gold Trump Tower in Las Vegas, maybe, so that the rest of us that don't speak dipshit know where the fuck you're going with this anal filleting that you're doing on Trump? My God, man.
In Vegas.
It totally rocked it. It rocked it, baby. Oh, it fucking rocked.
The difference between a bomb, which is what's happening here.
Oh, I see. This is another episode of Benny Johnson shows other people's posts and calls himself a reporter, I guess. It's big on in the right-wing circles. Just, finding shit on Twitter and then setting up your video so that you just show stuff that's on Twitter that other people point out. Here's the you want the recipe? You want the magic recipe? You go on Twitter or shitter, and you find a bunch of posts that have gotten a lot of coverage, and then you find whatever narrative they're talking about with that footage. Then you steal the footage, copy the narrative, and then post it on Twitter, and the same algorithm that rose those things up will boost your shit too, and you don't even have to know what the fuck you're talking about Ta-da!
And a battery fire.
By the way, I don't think you're doing Musk any fucking favors showing his rando car catching on fire.
Which is what's happening here. The battery fire, obviously, is a slow burn. It starts from the undercarriage of the car.
Yeah, it's sexy. It's got a good build up.
and it moves up through.
It's like that part in that Fleetwood Mac song. Dome, do 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 dome. Boom, boom, tick, 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 tick. You know that part? Yeah, it's like that. Those fires are like that. Whereas the other fire is like back in black. You know what I mean? It's like
For the vehicle.
it rocked.
This is a bomb.
No, it's not. It's a truck exploding with a bunch of shit in the trunk that was set off intentionally. Also, considering the bed of the truck was where all the explosives were housed and they were not bundled together specifically in any kind of organized way and were just lit, then you could argue that if anything, the Cybertruck itself would have been the bomb in this situation, but its size didn't blow off because the top of the fucking thing is the path of least resistance, so it blew the top of it off because none of it was, like, these weren't high-level explosives. It's a bunch of gas cans and fireworks.
Ladies and gentlemen, along with a bunch of other.
The guy also, he burned to death inside there, but he blew his brains out first, for the record. We now know that.
Pyrotechnics, mortars, and fireworks.
Pyrotechnics. Really? He had, what, like, fucking flame pots from a rock club?
Stacked inside of the vehicle.
Loosely piled.
For maximum damage.
No, that's one of the things the FBI and the cops were kind of shocked about, that it was just kind of, the shit was just laying around back there, and they thought that since he has military training, he should know more about creating an explosive. With all the stuff he had, he could have arranged it in a way, kind of like when you build a good fire and you're like, kindling, and then you've got some, like cotton or cloth or paper shredded underneath it, and then you've got the logs that you add on top of it, and you're going to build the fire towards it, right? There's a way to do it that maximizes what fuel you have and how it plays out. This was not that case, and as a matter of fact, the fact that he put it in the back of that, it just means that the lid on the trunk part of a Cybertruck ain't shit.
And it did injure dozens of people.
No, it didn't. 7. It injured 7 people.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we know what actually happened.
What actually happened?
Elon Musk.
Somebody asked me to sing Lady. My voice is very tired from singing the other night, or I would. Because I wouldn't want to, reach for that note and not, Lady! Oh, I'm fine, actually. Look at that. From the moment I saw you. Yeah, standing all alone. Yeah, I think I could do it. Yeah, it's key. You know what? You're right. I am amazing. Anyways, back to this dipshittery.
Of course, the creator and inventor of Tesla, the owner of...
No. Owner of Tesla, not the creator and inventor, rather. The investor, not the inventor. No, he did not create Tesla at all. Dumb fuck. He did not.
Tesla says it appears to be an act of terrorism, talking about the bomb that exploded at the Trump Hotel. This Cybertruck and F-150 suicide bombs in New Orleans were rented from Turo. Perhaps they are linked in some way.
Yeah, apparently the standards on Turo are low, so that it's easier for people to rent these things without much of a check. And they have a lot of specialty vehicles, trucks specifically, it would seem.
So what Elon Musk is saying is new information that...
Did he invent PayPal? No, he was one of the investors. Again, this is all fucking blood emerald money.
The Cybertruck in Vegas was rented from the ride-share rental app Turo, which...
Because it's easier to get than, like, Hertz and all these other companies that, after, post 9/11 and post Oklahoma City, have better, countermeasures against sketchy fucking people.
Which allows you to rent private vehicles with de minimis background checks, right?
De minimis, yes. Minimum would be but de minimis, sure.
If you get a car from Avis or Enterprise, they're going to check your credit. They're going to, confirm your ID. Turo really doesn't do any of that.
Right. So the shock would be, why aren't all the cars used in these kind of attacks rented on Turo? Not that 2 of them were.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, maybe this is a hack that terrorists have used now in order to attack the country. Elon Musk.
Oh dear.
Saying, we have confirmed that the explosion was caused by a very large firework and or bomb carried in the bed of the
I love the and/or is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
rented Cybertruck. This is unrelated to the vehicle itself.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's a symbol of something.
All vehicle telemetry.
I mean, Cybertruck, Trump Tower. Maybe he's trying to get your attention that you can't trust Elon Musk or something. We're going to have to see what this dickhead wrote or what they can find out about him. By the way, white guy, active special forces. Again, that's why everybody thought it was kind of a bad explosion for somebody that's supposedly in the special forces. Although, I will say, he worked in information tech. So he was with the special forces, but he was not like what Don Jr. would call a door kicker.
Was positive at the time of the explosion, meaning they can tell in a Tesla when something went wrong. The car is a computer on wheels. If you've ever been inside of a Tesla, you know that it has constantly tracking and...
Yeah, absolutely. And nobody loves your vehicle being tracked by a corporate oligarch more than maggots. Isn't that what freedom's all about? The idea that the owner of the company, if he stops liking what you post on Twitter, can shut your fucking car down? Freedom! I won't let you down, freedom! I will not give you up, freedom!
Videoing everything that happens. It has like a video camera system monitoring the vehicle at all times.
Again, why would anybody buy that fucking car? Sorry, what? It tracks me everywhere I go, and it can film me without my consent all the goddamn time?
So somebody putting in a bomb or somebody putting in like pyrotechnics into the back of the car, they'd be able to see that. I think we're...
And, okay, whoa. All right, I love this. This is great. Benny Johnson, congratulations for being the asshole of the fucking month on day goddamn 2. So let me get this straight. Elon Musk can see if someone's putting bombs or explosives into one of their trucks. And this fucker apparently did that days ago when he drove down from Denver and they didn't do anything about it. So this bomb was effectively sanctioned, if not sent by Elon Musk. Fuck, how do we know that guy hadn't shot himself already or been, CIA'd or something by Musk's handlers, shoved into the car, and then it autopiloted its way there while the cameras rolled? Right? That's what I'm believing until they tell me otherwise. Why not? Fuck it. If he's going to say bomb, I think it was autopiloted by Musk himself using a fucking Xbox controller.
Just moments away from probably getting the video of the perpetrator. And we don't know who
the perpetrator
lit the bomb at the Trump Hotel. But this was an attack on the Trump Hotel. Elon Musk.
Right. Who thinks Benny Johnson's going to go, fuck, I knew it. Fucking white guy. Hold on. Shall we look? Shall we take a look real quick? Hold on. Trump Cybertruck bomber identified. They'd be like, I'm sure. Let's see. Where is it? There's got to be a picture of him in here. Where is it? Yeah, there he is. Get the fucking that picture's out. Yeah, here he is. This is. Let me show you who Benny. When this happens, when Benny Johnson found this out, I'm sure he's like, "Yep, that's exactly what I thought he would look like." That I knew it. If anybody says anti-Trump suicide bomber, it's this dude. That's the guy, by the way. Matthew Littlepecker. What's his name? Livelsberger. So I was close enough. He's the Cybertruck bomber. He had this gun. He had a Desert Eagle. It's all burned up. These are all the pieces. See, here's a bunch of like unexploded rounds and shit he had in the back of there that didn't blow up or that burned out and didn't explode as it blew the top off and shit like that. That's, I think, him. I'm only half kidding. But the reason it didn't explode this way is because the shell is, is stainless steel, but mainly because this is just glass. So it just popped out the top. To create a bomb, you'd have to have equal pressure around it. If you put this in any other vehicle, like if you put it in the back of a pickup truck and you blew it up, you know, you just sat the stuff in the back, it would blow out the same way, no matter what. The only difference was the Cybertruck has like a big piece of glass over the back. Yeah, so this is the Matthew Littlepecker. That's the guy who blew up the Cybertruck because America or something. Anyways, and he's got all the same, like, I think he's got all the same tattoos as Pete Hegseth. So this is gonna be fucking awkward.
The whole Tesla senior management team is investigating this matter right now. We will post more information as we learn anything. We've never seen anything like this.
Sure you have. We've seen car bombs before.
He says
the batteries didn't explode because they were shielded underneath it, and it burned straight up.
The Cybertruck blast and explosion. Ladies and gentlemen, this blast and...
Ladies and gentlemen. Has he said ladies and gentlemen yet? I feel like it's not really a show until you say ladies and gentlemen at least 6 times.
Explosion, as you can see here, was...
Yeah, so this is the first video everybody saw with it just on fire. So they're like, another one of these fucking things on fire. Because that happens too. Let's see, like, let's see, Tesla car fire. Let's see, images. Yeah. Yeah, so like if you look around, there's tons of these, like Tesla Model 3 electric car bursts into flames after accident in autopilot mode. Tesla Model S erupts in fire at a Sacramento scrapyard while it was just sitting. Tesla Model S catches fire at Tesla service center in Marietta, Georgia. Tesla Model S caught fire and burned down while charging its supercharger. This is the guy right here. Tesla destroyed by fire in Bruce County, which is a fire it started. Model 3 burst into flames from inside while driving on the road. That's fun. Oh my fucking God. Can I do another side note? It's sort of China related, but it's pretty hysterical because CSL sent me something later. He was like, this is just a video for you. And you're absolutely right. It's so for me. This is the name of this video. Look at the cover of this fucking thing, for one. Like, what the hell are these things supposed to be? These like little hover pods, little helicopter hover pods that are not aerodynamic at all and are flying and like there's hundreds of them. Get the fuck out of here. The aerodynamism is amazing. This isn't AI generated at all. Okay, but there's a, here's so BYD, which is
150 million.
Yeah. So this BYD is the company that steals all the Tesla tech, obviously before it was cooked, and both of them catch fire all the time. And the BYD cars, they nicknamed them "Burn Your Driveway," because they'll just be charging overnight and they'll overheat like old phone batteries, you know, a long time ago, and will cook. They'll just set fires, right? Remember those? Oh, remember when all those hoverboards were catching fire? Remember that shit? Okay, same batteries. That's why. They overcharge and then they heat up and then they catch fire and then boom. And it just, yeah, exactly. The hoverboards it's the same shit, but just on a massive scale. So check this out. This is a new part of this new BYD. This is like they're showing off all these like holy fuck things. They're like, look at China's way ahead on these things. Like, look, what are you talking about? This is a helicopter project. That thing's amazing and also bullshit. What happens to the bottom hat? Wait, no. You don't get to just show the fucking thing rolling along. What happens to this? Does this careen into traffic once you leave? Does it return home? What's wrong with you? I'm tired of being on the road. Okay, and there's a bunch of these, like, I don't know why you would put fucking drone copter things on a car. Like, that just looks like something out of a Sean Connery Bond film. Yeah. And it's fat tire motorcycles, which exist already or whatever, but it's a big deal. Okay, so, and then they show this under, and then the VTOLs, the vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. Okay, so this is funny because of the AI and the person doing the thing can't decide how to pronounce the name of the vehicle. And as Americans, it's just not going to be not funny to us. And also, by the way, in China, they do that all the time as well. They They make, in a movie where you see Arnold Schwarzenegger speaking Chinese because they have dubbed him, they make fun of his face and his voice as if that's how he really speaks. So don't think it's, all right, anyways, never mind. So check this out.
Engines in the market. China's BYD Yangwang U8.
Yangwang, but who's counting? Yangwang, whatever.
Meet the Yangwang U8.
Yeah, this is one of the white monkeys, the white dudes they have doing Chinese propaganda who do a bunch of ads and like Chinese puffery videos. They pull from his video, but this is the BYD vehicle. Watch this.
The Chinese all-electric super SUV.
The BYD Yang.
I'll have the soup.
Wang U8 from China is making headlines as the world's first floating SUV.
Okay, now what? Hold on. As the world's what?
U8 from China is making.
All right, the world's first floating. Floating SUV. You notice the difference between that, than say amphibious, right? You would say amphibious SUV, right? If it could do both land and water. However,
headlines as the world's first floating SUV. This innovative vehicle boasts.
This is about to get so fucking terrifying. This I love.
It's a hydraulic system that allows it to rise or lower by 150 mm, making it a formidable presence on the road, all for a price tag of $50,000. One of its standout features is its ability to perform a tank turn, executing a full 360-degree spin while remaining stationary. Perfect for making...
That's because the wheels can turn in two directions and it does a spin just like a tank would. Left wheels go forward, right wheels go backwards, and it spins this way. Yeah. That kind of differential is cool, but it also, if it fucks up, you're done. And it's really expensive to repair, which is why you don't tend to see them.
A stylish statement when parked. When it comes to...
Why? Because it can give you epileptic seizures?
To aquatic adventures, the base model can...
Adventures.
Float in water up to 1 meter deep, while the off-road variant can handle depths of 1.5 meters. In case of an emergency, like being caught on a flooded street, the...
Okay, and I would say back out of the flooded street?
U8 automatically activates its emergency floating mode. This
the emergency floating mode. Sounds great.
Mode ensures comfort by shutting off the engine.
Yes. I would feel a lot more comfortable with the engine off.
Sealing the windows, turning on...
Sealing the windows.
On the air conditioning.
Turning on the air conditioning.
And opening the sunroof.
Right. So basically it's going to sink, so you're expected to crawl out the fucking roof. Thanks. I'm good. How about you just make the sunroof open and I'll just get out before the thing fucking sinks.
It can stay buoyant for up to 30 minutes and move at a speed of 3 kilometers per hour.
Depending on, I guess, if it's a raging torrent.
Making it a practical option for escaping tricky situations, though it's not designed for leisurely lake outings.
No, definitely not.
It's important to note that this floating capability is strictly for emergencies.
Yes, it's for not sinking emergencies.
And using it for fun is discouraged.
Yes, that lady looked like she was having fun, but she absolutely was not.
After engaging the floating mode, the vehicle will need a service check once the suspension is retracted.
Yeah, I was guessing it's probably going to have to... Yeah, I would guess servicing it would probably be a good idea. Yeah, in general.
U8 sets a new standard for SUVs, merging cutting-edge technology, safety, and adaptability in a way that could...
Yeah, it doesn't adapt. It's just sealed on the bottom because of how most electric cars are sealed on the bottom, so making them float isn't a big deal temporarily until they sink. I love how they only stay afloat in a meter of water. Why would that matter? Right?
Redefine off-roading and water navigation.
Water navigation. I think we're going this way.
It primarily in emergency scenarios.
Yeah, primarily. Yeah, I definitely. Excellent.
US.
Okay, so yeah, I love how they call this the U.S. SkyTrain. There's another, the motorcycle, and then there's these VTOL things, and then, yes, everybody's got a fucking, yeah. I have to see this.
With practical use and providing a glimpse into the future of mobility. The Flyer. Get ready, thrill seekers. The Flyer has arrived, poised to elevate your personal travel experience.
Hi, that's a hang glider?
Quite literally. This innovative electric vertical takeoff and landing, EVTOL, aircraft is revolutionizing the way we navigate our cities, allowing you to
Is it though?
Soar above the gridlock and head straight to your destination.
Yes, if you have, whatever, $150,000 and they let you in the airspace.
While regulations for personal EV tolls are still evolving,
evolving is a good word.
The Flyer offers a tantalizing glimpse into the future of urban transport.
That is not the future, that is the distant past.
Where traffic snarls become a thing of the past. Picture yourself
well, until you crash on the freeway trying to do an emergency landing and then cause one of those snarls.
Gliding over breathtaking cityscapes.
Or just shitty cityscapes.
Effortlessly bypassing frustrating traffic jams and landing precisely where you want to be. The Flyer is equipped with cutting-edge safety features and user-friendly controls, making it accessible even for first-time flyers. This isn't just a fantasy. It's the dawn of a new era in personal mobility.
Or not.
Promising unparalleled freedom and excitement.
I think there would be other parallels to it, like a helicopter. You have to have a license, but there's a lot of parallels, I'm just saying. It's just parallel.
Whether you're an adventurous urbanite or simply fed up with gridlock, the Flyer is set to transform your daily commute into an exhilarating journey.
Yes, as you bump into other rich dickheads without a pilot's license and bounce off each other over golf courses and elementary schools all across the homeland.
Let's hope you're ready to take it to the skies. Robo-taxi.
They have these in Vegas right now.
Zoox, an Amazon subsidiary, has unveiled a revolutionary autonomous robo-taxi that aims to transform urban transportation for ride-hailing services.
Also, why is this China has launched? It's an Amazon-linked one, and it's in the States already, you weirdo. And you can tell this is not in China because there's a black lady, and she looks like she's having a good time. Yeah. Anyways, that part of, the like China owns the future storylines are fucking spectacular. I enjoy those. They're one of my sweet little pleasures in life. Now back to Benny Johnson's dumbassery.
Clearly something that was designed to harm and hurt those at the Trump Hotel. Maybe it is related because the same
or cook their hot dogs or their marshmallows.
Same apps were used with the New Orleans attack. Of course, that attacker is an ISIS-related attacker, and he was able to murder 15 people before being gunned down by law enforcement.
14. But, okay.
So
he injured 35, something like that. Also, the people that they thought had planted devices, that guy planted the devices, not Benny. The attacker planted them before, and these people, they were in coolers, and some people checked the cooler to see what was in them, like looking for a beer, and then shut the lid. So they asked those people if they saw what was in it, or if they were part of planting it, and they cleared them all because they were just walking around with friends going, look, somebody put a cooler of drinks. Oh, there's nothing in there. And then they just moved on.
This is a attack confirmed on the Trump Hotel on the iconic Trump property in Las Vegas.
It's not iconic. It's just yellow.
As you can see here.
Yeah, it's Piss World Tower.
And as confirmed now fully on multiple networks. Let's go.
Let's talk about Las Vegas because
no, Benny Johnson. No, fuck you. You cannot check in with MSNBC and go, see, it is true. You can't do that. You're not allowed, maggot. They all do this. They all shit on mainstream media, and then they go, that's their source. Still.
This has been a sort of interesting development. The images of the Cybertruck parked outside the Las Vegas Trump property went viral. I think people thought it was an accident and then no one was hurt. And so there was a sort of bizarre symbolism in that it was a Cybertruck, it was not Trump. As it's developed, it seems that this is being taken far more seriously. What have we learned?
We've learned that you should not video out of your window with no pants on, just wearing a shirt in your room at Trump Tower because the windows are too reflective.
About what authority?
And we do not need to see your bony ass knees. You old perv. What? What?
Know and how they're investigating this.
Right, Chris. So according to the reporting of myself, my colleagues Andrew Blankstein and Kelly O'Donnell.
Wait, according to my reporting?
Right now, 3 senior U.S. law enforcement officials say that this explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck, kind of in the portico there where you saw that smoke.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, fucking Benny Johnson going, see, told you what I said was true. They're saying it.
And exploded there inside of the vehicle. This is something that now has been reported out by federal law enforcement that's looking into this.
And MSNBC, which is your primary source. Who the fuck?
Of course, if they can do this at a Trump property, is this...
Why wouldn't they be able to do it at a Trump property? There's no gate to that fucking valet.
Another attack on President Trump.
Yes, by a white male with blue eyes who was in the military and...
Right? I mean, the footage is absolutely bone-chilling, and I think we'll...
I don't know. I wouldn't qualify it as that.
Probably get more footage as we are able to develop...
In case your bones start to warm up and you want them to cool them off again.
The story. Check out this reporting.
Revealed what was inside.
And then CNN, motherfucker. Hold on, let's skip through these. And then he goes to what? Musk. Yeah. Oh, that's her reporting on it. Reveals what caused huge Tesla explosion outside Trump. Insiders investigated the attacks are linked. We know that. It's the same bullshit. Anyways, I went over because I took too many asides. That was my fault. I blame me. Now, I gotta pack some shit up and get in my car and drive to Vegas or drive to Los Angeles so I can do my morning show and my regular show from there tomorrow. And then I've got a special show I'm doing with Nerd Halen tomorrow night. I think we're playing a birthday party for somebody, and it's just like friends of a friend apparently, but it's going to be fun and I look forward to it. And I think we're doing like 5 songs. It's like a little set, but then as soon as I'm done with it, I get to turn right around and drive back here and join you lovely folks. So for the Saturday show. So I'll do regular shows tomorrow, and that's why I'm leaving now. So that's how much I love you guys, that I'm going to drive tonight so that I can get up in the morning and do the show at the regular time. Rob Glenn will be joining me and Philip Ittner both tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. And just remember, that if anybody asks you, what did Biden do? What did Biden do? Well, apparently he chose to pass an infrastructure bill because Trump could have done it, but he doesn't give a fuck. Biden just gave a fuck. That's what he did. And one thing was the big fucking deal. The $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law that is going to be benefiting this country for a decade and then extrapolate those benefits on and on. So bless you guys. Phil is doing all right. They've been hit around his area a little bit lately, but I think they're just ratcheting it up to give themselves some negotiating room. But we will see. We're going to talk to him about that tomorrow. There was this other thing, and I don't even know if is it here? Hold on. Where is this? It's this one. Lukashenko apparently came out about, there was this whole thing about them joining with Russia. I want to ask Phil about this tomorrow. But he people asked him a bunch of questions, and he was like, Lukashenko rejected the notion Belarus would join Russia and was clear that Russia and Belarus had a common ancestry, but Belarus needed to stay a sovereign state because any attempt to join Russia would result in war amongst the Belarusians. First, nobody has authorized me to take that step. Second, any move by any politician in that direction would be quashed by the Belarusian people. Us joining Russia, out of the question. It's impossible and impractical. I'm sorry to say that would mean war. Ouch. Fucking oops. So I'm going to ask Phil about that tomorrow. I'm excited at the concept, and I'm just as excited to get to 100,000 subscribers. So subscribe. Please, for God's sake, for God darn. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. I think. My robot needs work. He's not pushing the button that hold on, I'll see if I can. It worked!